San Diego Comic-Con 2025, the biggest focal point of the global entertainment industry, a meeting place for thousands of die-hard fans from all over the world, where blockbuster trailers, top-notch cosplay, and moments of idols stepping out of the screen become reality. But this year, something unprecedented silenced the entire hall. It wasn't a new trailer, it wasn't a surprise appearance by the Marvel cast, but rather a confession, direct, sincere and emotional, from Sam Heughan, the main actor of the famous Outlander series. "She's not here because of me," Sam said in front of hundreds of reporters and fans. The statement rang out like a thunderclap in a clear sky. The hall immediately fell into absolute silence. All eyes turned to Sam. The press conference started as usual, a lively atmosphere, laughter mixed with applause. Sam was still smiling and talking, sharing about the final season of Outlander personal projects and his future career. Until a question was asked, "Why isn't Caitriona Balfe at Comic-Con this year?" Sam was silent. An awkward silence filled the room. He looked down, then up, his eyes glistening with tears. "I can't hide it anymore. She's not here because of me." Sam began to tell his story. His voice was sometimes lost in his emotions. He and Caitriona, or Kate, as he affectionately called her, had been having simmering conflicts recently. Not hatred, but rifts caused by misunderstandings, pressure, and too much public expectation. "We used to be the perfect couple, but after many years having to act in real life made everything tiring. We were no longer just two actors, but a media model created." Sam confessed that he was in a new relationship outside of the entertainment industry. This change made the distance between him and Kate even more apparent. Although Caitriona never spoke out in criticism, the silent signals, from refusing to participate in joint events to her complete absence at SDCC this year, were her unspoken response. Sam tearfully offered a public apology. "Kate, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not listening enough, not understanding you enough, and for letting things go too far." Fans were stunned. Some shed tears. For them, Sam and Caitriona were not just a couple on screen, but a symbol of attachment, of friendship, even of love, that transcended the script. Early signals showing that cracks started a long time ago. Looking back at Sam and Caitriona's 10-year journey, we can recognize small but significant signs that things were no longer the same. On the red carpet, they used to walk side by side, as if nothing could separate them. But since 2023, many observant fans have noticed Caitriona began to interact less with Sam on social media. Joint interviews became increasingly rare. When asked about each other, both often changed the subject quickly or answered cautiously, avoiding revealing personal feelings. At last year's TV Choice Awards, Sam appeared alone while Caitriona cited schedule conflicts. Previously, they had never been absent from major events related to Outlander if the other was present. In fact, fans once caught Caitriona leaving a fan meeting earlier than expected after learning that Sam would be arriving later. It was no longer a coincidence. It was a series of related reactions, silent but clear that something between them was no longer intact. Reactions from fans, sympathy, or criticism. After Sam's statement, social media exploded. The hashtag #JustSupport appeared all over Twitter and Instagram, praising his courage to admit his mistakes and express his true feelings, a rarity in an industry full of cover-ups. But conversely, the eager justice for Kate wave also spread. Many criticised Sam for not maintaining professionalism, allowing personal feelings to affect their joint work, especially during the sensitive time of the final season of Outlander. And then, a cryptic message from Caitriona. That evening, Caitriona stunned the fan community when, for the first time after many days of silence, she posted a blurry photo taken from behind. A woman standing in front of the sunset, with the simple caption, "I heard you. No one knows what will come next. They could be separated forever. Or a door might open, even if only for one last conversation." But no matter what, SDCC 2025 will forever be remembered not for a spectacular trailer or a new blockbuster, but for a heartfelt confession. A person standing amidst hundreds of lights and pressure dared to say, "It was me." And that, not the role, not the fame, is what made Sam Heughan more special than ever in the public's eyes. And Sam and Caitriona, were they really ever in love? The question may seem old, but after the confession at SDCC 2025, it has been rekindled strongly. Did Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe, in real life, ever truly love each other? This is no longer a harmless speculation by the shipper community. Because for more than a decade of accompanying Outlander, what they brought to the audience was not just acting, but a connection that transcended the screen. So real that it's hard for the audience to believe it's just a script. Moments more real than acting. Let's look back at old interviews. In a talk show in 2017, Sam unconsciously put his hand on Caitriona's shoulder when she emotionally talked about her father's death. Caitriona, in a share with Harper's Bazaar, once said, "Sam understands me in a way no one ever has." They both used to text each other every night after filming, even when not in the same location. That chemistry made many directors admit no one else can replace them for the roles of Jamie and Claire, because they don't act, they live the characters. They denied feelings, but still left the door open. Although always claiming to be just close friends, they have never said there are no feelings. Sam once said in an AMA, "If the circumstances were different, maybe things would have been different." And Caitriona chose to answer cleverly. "The friendship we have is deeper than love because it doesn't depend on conditions." Did they ever love each other? Maybe it was a kind of unnamed love, not public, not needing definition, but intense. The truth may lie in the wrong timing. When Outlander began, Sam was an unattached man embarking on the spotlight. Caitriona, although discreet, had a long-term boyfriend who later became her husband. Keeping their relationship at a level of special closeness may have been the only option to avoid breaking ethical and professional boundaries. Maybe they chose not to love, even though their hearts once fluttered. Love, or a form of twin flame. There is a concept in psychology called twin flame. These are two people who do not necessarily love each other in real life, but connect deeply, understand each other on an intuitive level, as if they had met in a previous life. Many fans have called Sam and Caitriona that. And perhaps because this connection is so strong, it also becomes a burden. When expectations from the audience turn into pressure, they are forced to play the role of being in love all the time. Even though in real life they are no longer versions of Jamie and Claire. Loving each other doesn't mean being together after all the confession, "I am the reason she didn't come." And the emotional answer, "I heard you" from Caitriona, are like a late confirmation. Maybe they once loved, in their own way, quietly and with limitations. Maybe that relationship went beyond the boundaries of co-stars, but could not become romantic love. And perhaps they are people who will always have a place in each other's hearts, even when they are no longer on the same stage. Only two people know the truth, but the emotions belong to all of us. Were they ever in love? No one but them knows for sure. But for millions of fans around the world who have lived with Outlander for 10 years, the feelings between Sam and Caitriona don't need to be defined. Because sometimes a look is enough to speak for the heart, and a public apology on the biggest stage of the year is the truest answer that something was once present, and perhaps still is. Sam and Caitriona, is there a chance of a reunion, on screen or in real life? After the stormy confession at SDCC 2025 and the ambiguous but meaningful reaction from Caitriona Balfe, the question being asked across forums, newspapers and social media is there a chance for Sam, Heughan and Caitriona to reunite, whether on camera or in real life? This is not only the expectation of Outlander fans, but also a very human question. When two souls were once deeply connected, can they find each other again in any form? On screen, is there still hope Outlander has come to its final season? The story between Jamie and Claire, the symbol of timeless love, also ended with a happy ending, albeit with many regrets. However, the film industry never really says goodbye to a popular brand. There have been rumours of a spin-off about Jamie's next generation, Claire. A prequel about the character's past, or an expanded Outlander universe. A movie that concludes the entire journey. And with the media explosion that Sam's confession has just created, the producers will definitely consider inviting this couple again, at least in a special project. The market will not miss a real-life story that is as attractive as a movie. However, the problem lies not in the script, but in personal feelings, and this is where the story becomes unpredictable. In real life, can they find each other again? If there is a chance to reunite in real life, it does not necessarily mean romantic love. It could be a peaceful dinner between two people who know each other too well, a conversation that closes the silences that have not been spoken, a hug instead of sympathy, or simply the return of a friendship that time cannot break. Sam said, "I don't know if we will work together again, but I hope. If not, I just want her to know that I still respect and appreciate everything." And Caitriona simply wrote, I heard you. Sometimes just that sentence is enough to reopen a door, even if it is just the door of forgiveness. The story is not really over. The 10-year journey cannot be closed with just a speech or a photo on Instagram. What Sam and Caitriona built together, both on screen and in real life, has become a part of popular culture and emotional material for millions of viewers. Maybe they will not return to act together again. Maybe there won't be a confession on TV or a happy ending in real life. But true feelings don't always need to be public. They just need to exist. Hope. But don't expect for fans the best thing they can do right now is not to ask them to get back together, but to send their best wishes to both of them, each on their own journey. Because true love sometimes doesn't need a specific result. It just needs to be cherished. I'm the reason she didn't come. I heard you. 2 sentences. Like an unfinished conversation, no one knows if it will end. But that's what makes the story between Sam and Caitriona more real, deeper, and more beautiful than any love song in movies. If one day they appear together again, in a movie, in a photo, or just standing quietly next to each other in a crowd, it will not be just entertainment news. It will be the rebirth of a connection that once made millions believe in love, even those who have lost it.